So this is a quick video on some of the faults and some of the remedies for the strapping machine. I got this for free from work because it was faulty and they needed something working ASAP, so they went out and just bought a new one. So I took it home. It sat here for a few months until I finally got around to having a look at it. Anyway, so I just thought I'd share with you some of the things I learned on what can cause it to go faulty and how you can fix it. So for this particular machine, the issue was that you'd put the strap in, and then it would tighten, but then ultimately it would just not do the heat action, so that it would join the two ends of the tape together. So if I just open this up to show you. Now, there are a few things to consider, but the biggest one that was important to me was there's a little belt here, and in my case, the belt had snapped, and I could order a replacement online, but it was like 40 quid or something, and it was like coming from abroad. I can't remember, but it was like a lot of hassle. But anyway, so this had snapped, so I've since replaced it. Now this is a PU plastic belt, and it's 2 millimeters in diameter, and the overall length when you cut it is 40 centimeters. Now to change the belt, on the shaft, on the other end of the shaft, you'll see that there is an Allen key, and then this part will come out, and then take that off. And then the idea is then you can thread over a new belt. So I did that once while I actually remade the old belt. And that belt, essentially, you just use a flame on the two ends and it sort of joins the two together. And then you use some nail clippers or something. I don't know how good that is. But that is my join line. Anyway, to clean up the edges. So, but what I did instead, just to save me the effort, is actually I just used the lighter here and just joined the two ends together here and cleaned it up here. Saved me taking this all apart again. Anyway, so then this goes on, and then in here that's one, that's two. There we go. Right. So the belt goes on to the three pulleys. Now, so that was in my case. That fixed that. And I got this belt just on Amazon. It was like 5 quid for 10 meters. So that should last forever. And the other thing is that this heating element here, I've taken the cover off, and I've even used that to join the ends together when I was using the original one. But anyway, so this heating element gets covered in gunk. Essentially just use a knife, scrape it off. And then this part here is important. These two components here are very important. So these do the alignment of the tape. Okay, so this part here, you need a spanner underneath, and then this part here, I don't know if you can see, but that goes in and out, and that essentially restricts where the tape can go through on the feed side, this underneath side. Okay, so essentially you have that aligned, and then what you've got to do is loosen these two bolts and then align this as well. And the idea is that the two must be parallel with each other when they go in. That's really important, because then otherwise when it goes to join it on and the heater comes in, if it hasn't got really good, surface area contact, then it's not going to adhere very well. So essentially the two need to be like that, so they're lined up together. So we're not looking for that, we're looking for that. So that's also important. When I was researching online, other things that people were pointing out to, didn't help me, but it might help you, is this little contact switch there. In their case online, it was a bit wobbly. But mine's fine, but just something to be aware of. And then a couple of other things is you have this adjuster, and this adjusts the heat of the heating element. So essentially when I finished realigning that, I remade that, Now the strapping machine works really well, so I'll just pause this and show it off working. Okay, so as you can tell, I know it works. So thread it through. There we go. Hopefully you find this helpful. Thanks, bye.